course scheduled. There are a total of number courses you have to take. Leave it from 0 to number courses -1. You are given an array prerequisites where prerequisites of int equal a I, bi indicates that you must take course bi first if you want to take course ai. Okay, for example, the pair 0, 1 means to take courses 0 you have to first take course 1. Return true if we can finish all courses, otherwise return false. Okay, so if it is given 0, 1 to take course number 0, we must finish course number 1 first. Prerequisite is course 1, right? Okay, when we look at the example, we will see for this course number 1, to take the course number 1, we must finish 0. Okay, we must finish course number 0. Okay, when we look at this XML, we just think, okay, we will think that one's gonna be like graph. We will see the inputs elements as a graph. This one's number courses is 2. That means we will have 2 nodes. It's called 0 and 1. And then we see this one like an edge or like direction. Okay, I'm not good at the drawing, but I try to visualize. Okay, when we look at the scenario 1 or example 1, we have 2 nodes because the number courses is 2, so 0 and 1, and the prerequisites is 1, 0. So to take course number 1, we need 0. Okay, and then for this scenario 2, to take course number 1, we need 0. To take course number 0, we need 1. So we are having cycle, right? Okay, so the way I'm gonna do is we will just use the hasset, and then I will also use the dictionary. How we are gonna use those data structure. Okay, so for the very first time, we have how many nodes? If the number courses is 2, we have 2 nodes. If the number courses is 10, we have 10 nodes, right? So we will save every node. I'm sorry, every node's values and their prerequisites as a dictionary. In the very first time when we look at this HTML1 in my dictionary, I will save, okay, how many elements, how many nodes in here? 2. So we will have 2 rows in my dictionary, 0 and 1. In this 0, we don't need any prerequisites, so in that prerequisite they were just empty. Okay, for example, let me create this one. For example, if I will just create a dictionary and then integer and then list integer. Okay, so okay, in this case I will just save 0, empty list. Okay, for this case 1, what is that? 0, right? In the list where there is only 1, 0, because prerequisite is just 1, right? So in here dictionary key is 0 and then 1, because to take course 0 we must finish 1, right? And then in the dictionary key 1 we will have a list of integer 0. Okay, so and then we will check, can we finish each node one by one? We will just check one by one. Okay, we will check this node. Okay, there is no prerequisites. That means this one is empty, or like the length is 0, the count is 0. If the count is 0, okay, there is no prerequisites and we can finish, yes. And then we will just check this one. Okay, we'll just check this one. Okay, we have the prerequisite, it is 0. Okay, 0 is already true, right? So okay, so this is also true. So we will go this way for this example too. Okay, to finish this one, we will just check. Okay, we need 1. Oh, 1, when we reach to this one, it is also needing, it is also going back to 0, right? So it is just going back to the visitor node. At the time, we will return false. So in this case, we will go depth first search. We will go chain one by one to the end of the nodes. Okay, to the end of the connections. When we have the cycle, we will return false. Okay, so let's do the codes. So I hope we see the logics, because I will use the what is it, the first search. I will create outside function, so we will need to create the variables as a public variable, like global variables. We have the default search. In that default search, we need the key values. Okay, so in this case, as I told you, I will use the dictionary values, and then to mark visited nodes, I will use the hash search. Okay, DIONER dictionary values, right? Okay, integer, and then list integer prerequisites, and then we will have new dictionary. And then the another one, it has that integer visited to note the, to make a note which nodes are visited when we are going to when we are looping the chain nodes, you know, the prerequisite node. After that, we don't need that, right? Okay, and then we have 2 variables, and then we will go every node right in here. For before we do the default search, we need to instantiate our prerequisite. I mean, we need to create the dictionary, right? Because now there is nothing, right? So how many elements do we need to add to our dictionary? It's gonna depends on our number of courses, right? So for integer I equals 0, I less than number courses, courses, and then I plus plus. What we are gonna do, prerequisite dot add, and then I'm sorry, I, for the first time, I will just add the empty list. Okay, and then we will have every nodes we have, and then for the next loop, we will have I equal 0, and then prerequisites. Oh, okay, so I think it is better to use the, I think the same, right? Prerequisites for each prerequisite, and it is better, yes. Integer array, right? Items and prerequisites. We will add prerequisites. We don't have to add. We will change, right? Prerequisites dot item, right? 0. For example, if it is coming like this, to finish course number 1, we need 0, right? So the key is gonna be 1, and then the values we have to add it's 0, right? So prerequisite of I of c item c at the index 0 dot add items dot 1, right? Okay, so we have every nodes in my dictionary, and then every prerequisites values according to their key values. Okay, and then I will go for my test session, I will go every notes, right? Only if I can finish every notes, I can return true, right? If it is not, we will return false. Right? Okay, in this case, we will call the passage of our integer I value. That means the cost number. If the cost number is 2, we will go 0 and 1, right? So if we can go, okay, the passage is true, we will return 2, right? If it is not, we will return false immediately. We don't have to go for another steps, right? Okay, when we reach to the end with true value, we will return just true. Okay. Okay, in this def passage, how we're gonna do that? Okay, let's do this. For the first time, we will just check prerequisites value dot key, right? Dot count. If the count equals 0, that means there is no prerequisite. Return 2. If it is not, that means we have the prerequisites, right? So we will just add it to my visited notes, right? And then we just add key. That means, okay, we already visit this one, and then we will just keep going for the data set, right? And then we will go every prerequisites. Only after we finish every prerequisite, okay, I can finish every prerequisite, and also we can finish this prerequisite. You can think like that, right? So item and prerequisites key, like it is also the integer array, right? So items and pq prerequisite key, and this prerequisite key, okay, we will just go the same with like this, data search item. Okay, if it is not, we will return false, right? If it is, we will keep going to the another prerequisites. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, after everything's got done, okay, we can go everything. Visitted visited dot removed, right? We need to clear that one back. Okay, we can go everything from this node. We can finish. Okay, so we will remove this one, and then prerequisite dot that value is gonna be empty because we need to empty. So if we reach another, if we reach next time, for example, now we can finish this one, we can finish this one, right? So when it is coming like this, when it is coming like this too, oh, I'm sorry, when it is coming to, okay, to finish 2, we need 1 at that time. Okay, we don't need that, right? We already know that we don't have to go for this note, right? So we just check that dictionary value, right? If it is 0, we'll just say, oh, okay, there is no prerequisite. That means we can finish that note. That's why we need to clear that dictionary values with new list, okay? And then we will return true. But for this case, when we are going back, we need to check if it is already visited or not, right? So if it is visited, that one is only when we are going for the prerequisite for the loops, right? Recursive functions. If that key is already visited, okay, that means the prerequisite is needing that main causes as a prerequisite back, like this second case. We will just go from starting from the 0. At that time we just check 1 because 1 is 0's prerequisite, right? So when we reach there, it is needing back. That's why we need to check that case. Visitor contains key. If the key is already contained, we'll return for nothing to do, right? Okay. Okay, cool. I'm gonna submit this one to see what's gonna happen. Okay, cool. So that's it. Thank you.